Field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. Here's Christian McCaffrey to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for the Saints. 41 yards.
All right, now look at 56.
From the gun, Jackson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there from 3 yards out. And the Saints add on to their lead. And his kick is good. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Gun. Great.
They go play action here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10. Back to the air, Newton on second down. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Going to throw deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Green 39! Green 39!
Play action. It's Jackson. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. And this is good for a first down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Redskins scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, get the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Brown with the stick skills. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 41 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Out of the gun, Newton. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Let's rock now. Hey! Great.
They snap it to Newton. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Jay Gruden's guys unable to convert on 4th down. And the Saints will have the football back. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester. That's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we'll put some points up and have a little momentum going.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Detroit!
They go play action with Jackson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And that one results in 35 yards. They go play action now. Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over the... Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 46 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This is taken near the 13. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's a give to Fournette. Able to slither by. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Newton now to throw. He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 1:52 left to play in this second quarter. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. And Marker will try to punch it in. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We can come up with a lot of different explanations here. None of them are going to work. At the 1-yard line and coughing it up, no way.
You got to protect that thing like it's your firstborn.
Your firstborn, your secondborn,
your 10th born.
It doesn't matter. Take care of the football. You're in a position to go in and score. At worst, you've given up a chance to get 3 points.
Jackson, he's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Fighting through it, and he lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
After that play, I think we know one quarterback will be extremely happy if his defense can hold the opposing team to a field goal here.
A handoff to Fournette. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they...
Redskins touchdown. Tyreek Hill from 13 yards out. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And his throw here's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He's got it at the 15. A big play there just before halftime. 54 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or 2 in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints add on to their lead. And the lead will grow by 1 more. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
He's going to try and go deep again. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. McCaffrey on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
That's right now.
Now Leonard Fournette. Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Newton to throw. Steps away. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey, gun.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. Touchdown, New Orleans. DJ Chark